it is Regretsy, and today we're playing some Izzet Drakes, and we're going to be doing this in Ranked. We're probably going to do about 3 games, and we have our namesake cards, Enigma Drake and Crackling Drake. Both of these get power equal to the amount of cards that are in our graveyard, and Crackling Drake also gets extra power from cards that are in exile as well. We have dive downs to protect them, ops, spell pierces, and shocks, lava coils, charter course, just a whole bunch of instants and sorceries. We don't have any Niv Mizzets. I have not been able to find any yet. So we're subbing in some cards. We have Murmuring Mystics. They're an additional card that just generates a lot of token value off of our instants and sorceries. And then we have Search for Azcanta. I only have 1 copy of this as well. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I don't have any wild cards that are rare to redeem for more. And we have 2 Ral Izzet Viceroys if we're playing a little bit more of a grindy matchup. And we have 4 Discovery Dispersals for some card filtering. Our mana base is just 7 islands, 5 mountains, 1 Highland Lake, 4 Steam Vents, and 4 Sulfur Falls. This is almost exactly copied from the meta deck, except I am missing Niv Mizzets and a few other cards. We have a sideboard, but we're not really going to be using it since we're doing the ranked 1v1s, and these are also copied just straight from the meta list, so more dive down, spell pierces, counters for control. I have some essence scatters in here, but that's only because I don't have some of the other sideboard cards, and another Lava Coil, Siege Gang Commander, and then I actually put in Mass Manipulation, and it's actually kind of powerful whenever you get to the late game and you're actually able to just take over a whole bunch of their stuff. So let's go ahead and get into some games. Alright, we are starting off now on game 1 with Izzet Drakes. Let's see what our hand looks like. So we have a ridiculous amount of removal, and we have some card filtering, 2 lands. I'll try this. We'll see what happens. Looks like they've mulliganed down to 5 cards, so it might be a little bit of an easier matchup just because they're not going to have as much card advantage. I'm actually going to lead on the Highland Lake since it comes in tapped. Oh, and we drew Search for Azcanta, so I'm going to pay 2 life for this just to get on the board. This will help a lot, especially considering they're blue-black, so... Okay, it's Esper. And they're also using Search for Azcanta, so we're in a control matchup. We're nowhere near being able to cast him, so we're going to have to graveyard it. We're just going to go ahead and chart a course now. Probably should just get rid of the Lava Coil. I'm assuming they're probably not going to have very many creatures. Let's see what they're up to. Okay, so I'll opt on their end step, see what we can find. We don't really need a land right now. We're looking for Drakes primarily. And we'll put that in the graveyard as well. There's nothing but lands. Still not entirely sure what they're up to. Opt again on the end step, see if we can find a threat. More lands. Okay, we got an Enigma Drake, but it's almost guaranteed that they have a counter at this point. And the other problem is that they have 4 mana. We'll go ahead and transform that. So they could just settle the Rocket Jet if we go to attack as well. So let's go ahead and pass, and then we can just start using Search for Azcanta to maybe find something. Just need to find more threats for them not to be able to counter. They only have 4 cards in hand, so maybe we should have just tried to play it, but I feel like there's more value in just using Azcanta on their end step. Okay, let's go ahead and use it. Coil and dive down. Guess I'll take the dive down. Lava Coil is not really going to do much for us. Well, might as well go for it. I mean, let's see, they did not have a counter. We have a dive down in case they try anything. They could just Cleansing Nova. I'm not sure if it's worth it for them. Oh, Ravenous Chupacabra. That's actually really good for us. Oh. Auto tapping. Unfortunate. Did not mean to tap the Azcanta. I need to remember to tap that manually next time. Okay, we got quite a bit of damage in for them. Let's see what they're going to try to do. And I can Spell Pierce that. Actually surprising that this late in the game I can Spell Pierce something. Okay, so let's go ahead and use our Azcanta, find another instant or sorcery. Ooh, Prowl. I like Prowl. Shock him. Then we'll play Ral. Since it's guaranteed they don't have any counters up, since they only have 1 mana. Another Drake, I'll take that. Back. Okay, they're already down to 4 life, so we should be okay here. They seem to have a lot of removals, so they might be able to just find removal for this Drake. But luckily we have another one. Okay. Well, let's go digging. I'll take the shock. Since they're at 4 life, if we're able to just find like another shock or something, they're just done for. Another Drake, no counter from them. Decision time. Okay, I'll take Murmuring Mystic just in case they manage to remove our Drakes. That was a mistake. For one, I once again did not manually tap my mana, so Azcanta is done, and then they Kai's Wrath. So that was a big misplay on my part. But it doesn't matter, we have 2 Murmuring Mystics in hand, so realistically they can't really do much now. Decisions. I'll take the dive down. Okay. See if they have yet another board wipe. Berry. He's gonna try to bounce my Murmuring Mystic most likely.
I won't hide from the world any longer.
Yeah, I guess that does make more sense. Shock the space. That's fine, he can put that down on the bottom, I don't care. And there we go. We made it to the end. They didn't really have, like, I guess not much at all in their hand. They had a lot of removal, and it did help them out quite a bit, but they didn't have any counters or anything else. So we were just able to run them over, even though I misplayed twice. Alright, we are on to game 2 with Izzet Drakes. Who do we get for a hand? Okay. So we have 2 mana and an opt, so we might be able to find our other land that way. It's a little bit slow considering we have 3 4-drops, but we do have a Spell Pierce as well. I'll go ahead and try this one. Possible we just get run over. Hopefully it's not burn. I'll let it enter tapped. I'm not going to risk it in case they are burn. Looks like that might have paid off. Luckily they don't have a 1-drop if they are burn. Ah, they're that kind of build. So it's going to be Electrostatic Field and Gutter Snipes most likely. Let's go ahead and knock on the end step, see if we can find something. Lava Coil is really good. We can get rid of that Electrostatic Field. And then we'll still have Spell Pierce up in case they play something else, but I don't think they usually run that many spells that are worth countering. Unfortunately, we drew another Crackling Drake, so we have 3 4-drops in hand, but we don't have 4 mana. If we can top deck a mana... Yeah, that's not good. The removal might end up being helpful. 20 life, I don't really want to let them draw any more cards, but they're probably just going to cast it again anyway. If they don't find anything. Oh, there's Arclight Phoenix. Well, Lava Coil will hit that, so that's pretty good. Okay, we got our 4th mana, but unfortunately it's tapped. We can Lava Coil the Arclight Phoenix, it can't come back from the graveyard, and then we also have a Spell Pierce up as well. We have another Arclight Phoenix. Well, we can get our Crackling Drake down. Although they might have a Lava Coil in here. Is there an argument for playing Murmuring Mystic? It would eat 2 burn spells, but then we take 3 more damage from Arclight. So I think that we're going to do Crackling Drake. Is there an argument for playing this untapped? The Spell Pierce. It's not worth shocking ourselves, I don't think. They're probably going to remove the Drake. They did not. Well, they might still do that. This one's looking a little grim. I think they're going to be ahead of us. Oh. Okay, so that's good. Okay, we're down to 5 life. Not looking that great. Let's go ahead and play another Crackling Drake. I don't think playing Murmuring... I think Murmuring Mystic is just too slow. I don't want to attack in case they manage to remove our other Drake and then just hit us for 3. If they risk factor, I could double Spell Pierce, but I'm also not sure if that's worth it. Okay, we're definitely going to shock the Steamkin. Okay, shock the Steamkin. Then we also have Spell Pierce up still. Let's see what else they try. Let's just go with Murmuring Mystic this time. We'll get in with 1. See what they do. Probably won't. Oh, they're blocking. We still have double Spell Pierce up, so I can stop them from risk factoring, which I think would be where we want to be at this point. Because if they just risk factor, then they don't really have much left. We're also going to be creating some of the bird tokens for casting instants and sorceries. Okay, but we're still going to take the damage from Electrostatic Field, which is unfortunate. That leaves us really vulnerable. So I'm going to go ahead and Crackling Drake to see if we can draw something like a counter. Okay. We need them not to draw anything. If they even get one burn spell, it's over. Or I guess even that. They can just, they're gonna draw another card, and if they can cast anything, like if it's not a mana, we just lose. Yep, it's over. That was a little bit unfortunate. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to game 3. Okay, now we're going on to game 3 with Izzet Drakes. Hopefully we get a decent hand this time. And hopefully we don't fight any kind of burn deck. We almost had them last game, but it just wasn't meant to be. Okay, I don't think we can keep this. We only have 1 mana. We do have an opt, but the chances of not getting mana in the following turns is pretty unfortunate. This looks a bit better. So I'll keep this. We'll keep the land on top so we can cast the Enigma Drakes on time. Let's just let that enter tapped. Golgari. Alright. Well, if they have a turn 2 Wild Growth Walker, we can get rid of it with Lava Coil. There it is. Get to opt on our end step. I'll keep some more card filtering. Okay, we need to Lava Coil this before they play a Jade Light. There's the Branch Walker. It's possible they just follow this up with a Ravenous Chupacabra or any other kind of removal, so we'll see what they do. Luckily we have another Enigma Drake in hand, and we also have our Murmuring Mystic. Yep, that's exactly what I thought would happen. Fortunate we don't have any dive downs in our hand right now. Okay, so let's get down our other Drake. See what they do here. They're bound to run out of removal eventually. We have 3 creatures that are pretty decent threats. So, we had 3 creatures, rather. Okay. Let's just go ahead and attack so we can draw 2 cards off of the Charter Course. I'm not really that scared since we have the Shock in our hand. And that's alright. Do I want to keep the Shock up? I think I do. In case they play like Vivian Reed and snipe off our oh, there's Carnage Tyrant. That is not ideal. Well, let's just get rid of Ravenous Chupacabra. Actually, that might have been a bad idea, because they can just find Finality to get it back. Let's get down our other Drake. That'll be good defense against Carnage Tyrant, so if he tries to attack, then he's going to have to trade his Carnage Tyrant, and we still get 1 creature out of it, unless he has another removal spell. I feel like the chances of them having Vivian Reed in hand might be kind of high. Is that true? They might have played it last turn. Another Carnage Tyrant. Oof. Golgari just has so much value. Even if we kill them, they just come right back out of the graveyard. So I really want to hit my land drops. So I could Charter Course. Maybe I'll chart a course and try to find a dive down, maybe? Spell Pierce is okay, I guess. Well, not really, because they have so much mana they don't have to do with it. But at least both of our Drakes can take out their Carnage Tyrants if they don't have removal, if they try to attack. We only have 3 cards left. We have 4. They're definitely thinking about doing something. They are tanking. Midnight Reaper. So what do we take out? Do we just take out both Carnage Tyrants? I mean, realistically, they're just going to get one back from Finality, most likely, I would think. I think we do. Hope they don't have it. They're going to draw 2 cards off of Midnight Reaper, unfortunately, though. If we can get a Lava Coil from Midnight Reaper, that might be kind of nice. If they try to play something right now, like if they play Vivian Reed, I can just Spell Pierce it. Exactly what I thought would happen. Unfortunate. Alright, well, let's do Crackling Drake. And let's just Discovery. We won't be able to counter those Carnage Tyrants anyway. We don't really need Charter Course. I don't know if we can keep Crackling Drake. I mean, we have to keep Threat. We have to just keep taking their stuff out. Nebraska. That's bad. She's just gonna destroy it. Lesson learned. Should not have Discovery Dispersal. And they have a Duress. They'll get rid of one of our Spell Pierces. The Murmuring Mystic. They're definitely going to Duress us here and take one of the Spell Pierces. And she can just actually kill our Crackling Drake with the -3 again, so it's pretty much over. There's nothing I can do at this point. The double Carnage Tyrant was horribly detrimental to our plan. Maybe I should have just taken the damage from the one Carnage Tyrant and killed one and killed the Merfolk Branchwalker, and then they would get both of those back, but we would have been able to swing in for quite a bit of damage. And there's the Duress. Yeah, there's nothing we can do here. We're just gonna die, so I'll just go ahead and concede. A bit unfortunate. Alright, so the games didn't exactly go in our favor. The first game we did really well against that Esper control matchup. They didn't really have much going on. They didn't have many counters in hand. We did make a couple mistakes. We definitely should have been tapping the mana manually, since Search for Azcanta is always tapped whenever you're going to cast a spell for some reason. And additionally, I played 2 Drakes by mistake instead of just playing one as a threat, and then they were able to Naya's Wrath both of our Drakes down, but we still ended up winning in the end anyway. On the second game, it was just a red aggro style deck, so they just had a whole bunch of burn. It didn't really help much that they had their electrostatic fields. It was like that kind of burn deck where it was electrostatic fields. They probably had gutter snipes in the deck as well, so anytime they cast anything, it just did a ton of damage to us. So we kind of just got run over there. And then against Golgari, it was really unfortunate because they happen to have two Carnage Tyrants in their hand. So whenever they managed to play those, we ended up blocking them. And then after they went to the graveyard, I suspected that they had Find Finality, and they did. So after that, they were able to Vraska us, and we just died. So we got run over in both of the second games, which is a little bit unfortunate. I would say that this deck definitely does need Niv Mizzet, I would say. We didn't actually fight the control matchups, but Niv Mizzet would help a lot against that burn deck in the second game. And against Golgari, it probably wouldn't do like too much, but versus control, if that Esper control deck actually managed to go off, then if we had Niv Mizzet, then we could just keep drawing cards and pinging them. So working on a budget is kind of difficult. We need more cards for sure. I don't have Beacon Bolt either, which would help a lot against like larger creatures. I would say that there should probably be like a 1-of Detection Tower in this deck as well for the Carnage Tyrants, but I also do not have Detection Tower. So realistically, I just need to grind for some more cards and make this a bit better. This does perform pretty well, I would say. I do use it in the Constructed event, so I was able to get 5-0 multiple times with this deck, but it also is kind of fringe. I would say that you definitely need the full meta list for this to be powerful. That being said, I also think that using Maximize Velocity is also extremely helpful. So I actually don't have any in this deck, so I probably should consider adding some Maximize Velocities, maybe just like a 2-of or something. I'm not even sure what I would cut for it though. I mean, I'd definitely take out the Murmuring Mystics because they didn't really help us at all during that game. It's just like a filler card that I substituted for Niv Mizzet, which really doesn't work. You can't really substitute for Niv Mizzet with any card, and Murmuring Mystic is definitely not nearly as high on the power level. So in the end, we did pretty poorly. We lost 2 games because they're just the kind of decks that we lose to, and we don't have the proper build. So every week I will be doing the meta deck lists on Wednesday, or some other kind of deck list. I don't know if I have enough cards for all of the meta lists, but next week I will probably do mono red aggro since I do have all the cards for that one, and I will see you next week. Let me know if you have any feedback down in the comment section, and like and subscribe if you like the content.